Just give me a second. I need to see if this is working. Alright, I think I'm adjusting the microphone a bit. Give me a second. Is good? Alright. Is this audio level good now? Take that down like 2. Alright, now we're good. Alright. I'm gonna be testing the guns in this game before they completely destroy them. Because from what I've been seeing, the next update is just completely gonna get rid of all the usefulness of, all of our weapons that we've been grinding for. And that's gonna suck, but I mean,
I just can't shake these nightmares.
I don't understand why they're doing it. I mean, I understand. So from the patch notes, they're taking all of the weapons' legendary effects and nerfing them because they're calculating it in a different way that makes it more simplified. Except they said when they were doing this, it wasn't going to be a nerf, and that they were going to update it to have buffs in it. And they're just lying because they're not updating it to have buffs. We're completely going to get nerfed next update. Exactly at the same time that One Wasteland comes out, which One Wasteland is basically if I go over the scorched area in, okay, let's put it like this. Over here is the high leveled area. Pretty tough, 50, 80 level people. Over here, medium. Level 30, level 50 people. Over here, like level 40, level 10 people. All of this area is like level 10, level 30. Actually, this area is like level 10 only. And what they're doing is they're gonna be buffing everybody's levels to do, I don't know, in this area it's probably gonna be like 40, 50. Probably down here it's gonna be 60, 70. Over here probably the 80s and the 70s also. Over here probably gonna be maybe even reaching like 100 on some certain scorch feast that are like 3 stars. At the same time, they're nerfing all the guns so we can't do as much damage as we usually do. Like for example, this shotgun right here. The way it gets multiplied is at 757, it turns into a 140 because of the bloody effect on it. And the way they're gonna do it next is they're gonna completely nerf it by changing the calculations for it. This one's a 2-shot explosive. It's explosive and 2-shot effects like multiplies off of each other. I think next update this gun will be lucky if it does 100 damage. Same with heavy guns, same with melee weapons, all of it's gonna get nerfed. So before that happens, I'm just gonna test some out on like a behemoth and see if next update tomorrow just completely gets rid of everything good about them. I'm gonna concentrate fire and go for headshots. Before I do that, let me see if I got any other weapons I'd like to see and test before we just completely destroy them. Should probably start making 5.56s. I think all heavy weapons are going to be completely useless next update. I think I'm going to have to go back to the stealth commando because that's the only build that's going to be able to do damage. I'm going to have to trade some of my bloody and explosive weapons probably for some thing like a bloody fixer or bloodied handmade. From what I've been seeing, a couple of guns I need to test out is a Legacy one, let me see. I think I have, yeah, I do have this one. Bloodied, that one.
I just can't shake these nightmares. Floating in space forever.
I won't do anything with this one. I'll just take all of its damage. 1,000 damage for the punch. That's gonna be nerfed into the ground next update. We need to see how much damage all of our guns do before next update, because while next update is adding legendary perks, they're not gonna save us. I mean, let's be honest. The most that you can probably get as far as with legendary perks is increasing damage tolerance, convenience, and I think from what I saw, they're not really doing any combat-based perks besides maybe the stealth one and some of the explosive effects after you kill somebody. But I mean, the only one that looks really good is for melee builds, but you're not going to be able to do it, like, barely any damage with melee builds. When you get the bloodied effect, is not going to be useless. Behemoth here. I think he takes a second to load in. Yep, there he is. Alright, so going for headshots. This is low 95 gold behemoth. There's like 500 damage headshot. It takes it out like 30 bullets, not that bad. You know, I don't need to loot them, I'll just save a quote. So, Gallon gun's still pretty good. I don't think some certain guns should get nerfed, but they're gonna nerf them anyways because of the legendary effects. They're gonna need to buff a lot. I mean a lot, like... They're nerfing legacy weapons. Like, the Bloody's explosive Gatling plasma. The thing that does 300 damage a shot is gonna be lucky if it does 30 damage a shot. That's just completely stupid. Why they would nerf something so, you know, like, I never had one because I never got into the legacy guns, but those guns are really important stuff like Scorch Beast fight or the arrow fights. I don't know how we're gonna be able to do mobbing events or like the raid events now that we got completely like useless guns. Next up, I'll try the bloody Gatling plasma. From what I've been seeing, this thing's getting nerfed like 80%, so this thing would be lucky if it does over 40 damage a shot, which is like really bad. It'll make these guns completely useless. Nobody will use them anymore. Even a bloody explosive one is gonna be complete garbage. And there's still the problem where they won't fix some certain things. Let's see, this is good. Imagine that the explosive that... See, in my opinion, this gun is now overpowered. And you wanna know why? Because if you played all the way to the point where you can get this gun with a certain type of roll that it has, you deserve it, but they're just completely saying, you know what? We need to balance online Fallout. Why? We just need you all to struggle. We need you to work together. This game tries too hard to be certain things that it's failing at, but uh, the game froze. Are you kidding me? Yeah, the game froze. I can't. I'm pressing buttons and it's not working. I'll wait here. I don't care. It's trying so hard to be something that it's not doing well at, because there's certain like areas that they need to, you know, cater to. There's the camp building people. They always get at shop items. They don't care. Also, they cried bloody murder when their little glitch didn't work and they said they were gonna quit the game. Although a week later they got into it because they're dumb as sheep. I mean, let's be honest. Then there's the weapon people, the people who grind to get like weapons that can one run the Scorch Beast in like, I don't know, a minute or so. You get Buddy Fire Rate Fixer, you can kill that thing in less than a minute. If you got a group of people using buffs and add-ons and trying to speedrun it, you can get out in less than 10 seconds. And then meanwhile, there's random lobbies that sometimes can't even kill it in 30 minutes. Which is fine. That's like a perfect balance. You can have a completely different sort of playstyle to your type you like, but next update they're just completely just destroying that. And this game's still frozen. Okay. And then there's things like this where there's bugs in the game that have been bothering it for, I don't know, since it's been released. And instead of that, they want to do a balance change. Are you kidding me? They think people are way too overpowered, but they don't think their game's broken enough to where we can't physically play it. I mean, this is stuck in the loading screen. I can't hear any music or any sound effects. And to be honest with you, this is probably thinking that I'm still in the game while I'm in the loading screen. It's just this, and then there's the fast travel bug where bloodied people can't even go across the world anymore because you have to move like 5 steps in different sequences every time you want to fast travel, which is really dumb. And then there's the problem with two-shot explosive weapons and then splitters on different guns, causing the durability to go down because they go off of damage done to the target. Like, it is so bad that if you hit something with a certain projectile, like a two-shot makes your gun go down 2 times as fast, even though it's doing one bullet worth of damage. And then if you multiply that by explosive amount, that's 4 times a shot. You do that by a beam splitter, that's like what? 5 projectiles plus the explosive effect, that's like, I don't know, 10 shots worth of damage out of one. And then you take that and then you multiply that by the 2-shot effect. You're doing 20 shots worth of durability for one bullet. Even though that one bullet is probably doing about like, I don't know, 3 times the amount of damage as a normal bullet would. Which is dumb because it makes your guns degrade ridiculously fast. And there's nothing you can really do about it because that's just the way that they coded the game. And this thing still hasn't loaded yet. And there's problems like this always where you struggle to get even into lobbies, or you get problems where you can't even load the game because it's taking too long. And then by the time you load in, It says the service crashed or something stupid like that. Yeah, I'm just gonna restart this, man. This is ridiculous.